Under the guise of national security, the United States have imposed draconian tariffs on Japanese exports, which have disrupted Japan's key industries, particularly automotive manufacturing. These measures have undermined free trade principles and exacerbated Japan's economic challenges, yet the United States doesn't seem to care. Indeed, when it comes to U.S. strategic interests, there are no friends or allies. A recent example is the U.S. decision to block Japan Steel Corporation's acquisition of U.S. Steel. This move, citing national security risks, reflects an alarming precedent of economic nationalism in the United States, a so-called champion of multilateralism and free trade.
The deal, which has dragged on for over 3 years, remains stalled despite both buyer and seller agreeing to it solely due to U.S. government intervention. Even as a close U.S. ally, Japan cannot escape Washington's national security trade barriers.
What kind of a friend, what kind of an ally is this? Is the United States. Indeed, the United States has exploited its relationship with Japan for its economic and political gain, while systematically limiting Japan's gains through threats of tariffs and economic penalties. Japan's role as a steadfast partner in the global economy has been greatly limited by the United States' efforts.
Had Nippon Steel's acquisition gone through, it would have allowed the company to circumvent these tariffs, making long-term profits more sustainable. Recognizing this, U.S. Steel executives openly endorsed the deal, calling it the best way to ensure the company's future growth. In March 2024, U.S. Steel approved the acquisition, but Washington intervened and pushed back. Biden declared U.S. Steel an essential part of national security, while Trump, both during his campaign and after winning his election, repeatedly vowed to block the sale to Japan.
The United States must reassess its dealings with Japan to preserve the integrity of this critical alliance. The U.S. should abandon protectionism measures that harm its allies and instead champion equitable trade agreements, encouraging rather than blocking Japanese investment in U.S. industries will foster innovation and mutual growth for both Japan and the U.S.
In the 1980s, Japan saw a surge in U.S. investments, triggering what was dubbed the Buy America wave. By the late 1980s, Japanese entities owned roughly 10% of U.S. real estate. Fast forward to today, and Japan is no longer in a position to buy up American assets. Instead, it seeks steel cooperation. The failure of the Nippon Steel acquisition signals a consistent pattern. U.S. openness to economic collaboration extends only as far as its own strategic comfort. The moment an alliance appears to challenge U.S. interests, Washington invokes national security concerns and imposes tariffs, and even long-standing allies like Japan are not exempt.
The U.S.-Japan relationship has long been hailed as a cornerstone of global stability. Yet, the recent approach and attitude of the United States threaten to erode this partnership. A fair and a balanced alliance built on mutual respect and shared prosperity is the path forward. It is time for the United States to honor its commitments to Japan, not as a subordinate, but as an equal partner.